ashes to ashes.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, I'm going to be talking about Claudio. Now, I should have done this video a long time ago. If you guys been following the channel for, let's say, about a year or two, I've hyped Claudio up so much. I talk about him being the same power level as Devil Jin, him and Serafino creating the deadly alliance and causing havoc in the Tekken universe. I've talked so much about this guy, but I didn't even read his story in Tekken 7. That's what you call a real YouTuber. That is real YouTube. But today we're going to fix that. Today I want to go through his story. I peeked at some things when I was taking screenshots. I peeked at some of it. And the things that I did peek at, it was kind of interesting because Claudio is... Well, I never really knew there was so much to this character. Like when I was looking at his trivia and the lore, there was so much. It was so much there that I didn't take a screenshot of all of it because it was just so much. Like if I talked about all of it, this video would easily be like 40 minutes long. That's how much detail they packed into Claudio. One of the first things that I noticed, it says Claudio devil-like tattoo, the motif of chains on his right arm that seal away more tattoos, and from which the power for his services style exorcism sorcery emanates, along with some of his voice lines where he notes that he may have gone too far, could suggest that his power is demonic in origin, which is possible that the archers of Cyrus harness the power of demons they exorcise and use these powers against the demons themselves. This is interesting. This one little paragraph here has so much potential because it basically says Claudio has devil tattoos, and under the bandages on his arm he has more tattoos. And there was stuff in here about how chains kind of like restrict the devil's powers. Even if you look at Devil Jin's outfit, he always has chains incorporated. Chains first appeared as important in devil-related lore in Tekken 4, where Heihachi Mishima claimed that particular chains could suppress the Devil Jin. But the part here where it says, so when he exorcises a devil, he can use their powers against them. I know I keep making a lot of Doctor Strange references, but it's the easiest way to explain it. Doctor Strange can absorb someone's power and then use it again in the next battle. And it kind of seems like Claudio can do that same thing. And I'm wondering, in the Pachinko slot machine, it said that Claudio exorcises Eliza. So I don't know if that would mean he takes some of her power or if that's just going to be ignored because the slot machines aren't canon. But I think that potential there, because what if he steals Devil Jin's power? Devil Jin is one of the most powerful people on the planet. And if Claudio steals that, does he become the most powerful now? And then you also have to ask the question of how much can he hold? Because if we go back to Doctor Strange, there's a certain limit he can hold before he himself is corrupted. He himself is turned into sort of this evil demonic creature.
Things just got out of hand.
This next paragraph, I'll just show it. I'm not going to read it, but it kind of goes back to the idea of when Jin turns into Devil Jin, when he starts harnessing the Devil Jin, that's when the tattoos starts to appear. And Claudio's kind of the same thing. The tattoos is not always there, but once he starts using that blue magic, that blue spirit, that's when the tattoos start to form. And that's why I really want to see what Claudio can do, because it's like when you mix and mash all of these things together, how is that going to unfold? Him using Devil Jin energy against Jin, and he may know something that they don't. It seems like Jin and Kazuya, they've kind of just been carried by the Devil Jin. Like the Devil Jin just gives them so much power, but they really don't understand it. They spent the last 7 games trying to understand, trying to learn more, but it seems like people like Eliza, maybe Claudio, Heihachi, it seems like there's other people who know more, and maybe they will be able to use that against them, right? Another thing that I thought was interesting, this one is more so gameplay. The Tekken wiki was doing a lot of comparing of Anna and Claudio. I never really noticed that, but now that I think about it, I do know that some of their moves look similar. I'm not going to say they are the same, but they look the same. Some running attacks and things like that, right? Some hell sweeps, stuff like that. The next thing, Claudio has a total of 57 moves. That is the smallest amount of moves in the game, but we know he has one of the best win rates. He's the only non-DLC character to be in top 10 best win rates in the game. Sometimes less is actually more. Definitely the case for Claudio. Now, let's talk about the character relationships. First one, Heihachi Mishima defeated by him and forced to work for him in Tekken 7. Nina Williams briefly works alongside her. That's after he loses to Heihachi. Ling Xiaoyu, his opponent in Tekken 7, plans to use her as bait to lure in Jin. We'll talk about that in a second. Eliza seeks his blood. When I did her story, I didn't see anything about this. It said that she wanted his help, but I don't know where help transitioned into wanting his blood. And this kind of goes back to the point that I was making earlier. Is Claudio somehow tinkering with the devil gene and with demonic energy, and is that corrupting him? That's the only way I can see Eliza wanting his blood, is because drinking his blood maybe will refuel her. Maybe she won't be falling asleep and she will be able to do what she needs to do. This is me just connecting all the dots and all the stories together to just figure out where the developers is pushing it. They obviously have a plan with how much detail they put into Claudio, Gigas, Katarina, Lucky Chloe, Eliza, all these new characters. They have a plan, and I'm just trying to figure it out, predict it. Jin, one of his main targets. Kazuya, one of his main targets. Akuma, Claudio's organization had received information about something inhuman in the Far East, which Claudio and Heihachi first presumed to be Jin. However, the source of the power was later revealed to be Akuma. Now that's it. It doesn't say how he feels about Akuma. See, that's the thing. We forget Akuma is canon to the story. What is he going to do next? He went after Heihachi. It's just so much. Zafina seeks to obtain the services of his group of exorcists in order to help her deal with Azel and to hunt for Kazuya and Jin. You see what I mean? Do you guys see what I mean? Do you guys see why I hype Claudio up so much? This is a brand new character added into Tekken 7, and he has unlimited potential. Unlimited.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
What? No, you're right. I was dick riding.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta calm down with that shit.
Yeah, my fault.
Now, let's read the actual story for Tekken 7. This is all trivia and hidden lore. It says, the Archers of Cyrus are a group of exorcists who have been banishing supernatural entities from this world since ancient times.
What is your job exactly besides making balloon animals?
Protecting your reality, douchebag.
It says a highly secretive organization. Its existence is unknown to the public. Claudio is in charge of a group of exorcists. These guys have been operating since ancient times, yet the public do not know they even exist. The public is blind to this stuff that they're doing, and that's why Claudio really is like the Doctor Strange of Tekken. Demons, devils, ancient times, what more do you need? The Archers of Cyrus were suddenly approached by the Mishima Zaibatsu. They were heavy-handedly requested by the Mishima Zaibatsu to join their conglomerate, but naturally refused. This did not stop the persistent pressure from the Mishima Zaibatsu, however. Eventually, the news of this approach from the Mishima Zaibatsu reached the de facto leader of the Archers of Cyrus, Claudio. Determined to uncover the motives behind the Mishima Zaibatsu, Claudio begins to investigate the powerful conglomerate. This is kind of interesting. The Mishima Zaibatsu is trying to recruit the sorcerers. And they're not even talking to Claudio. This is how obscure and off the grid they are. They're not even talking to the leader. The Mishima Zaibatsu is a world dominating organization, but they're going through like a clerk at the sorcerer decks. It's just so crazy to me. The character episode prologue. The Cyrus Marksmen, a secret society of exorcists, have exerted a profound influence on European history for hundreds of years. The most powerful exorcist of the current generation is Claudio, who was visiting the Mishima Zaibatsu as their group joins forces to subdue a certain evil. After sharing information on the target, Kazuya Mishima, Jin Kazama, Claudio left control room only to be confronted by a young girl. He was about to call the guards when she demanded to be taken to Jin. A plan sprung into Claudio's mind. He led her to the rooftop with a grin, prepared to face her in combat. So let me explain this to you guys. Heihachi recruits Claudio to help him track down Jin and help him track down Kazuya. He's forced to work with them, but Claudio is smart. You're not the leader of this ancient organization and you're dumb. He's smart. So even though he got forced into this situation, he's looking for opportunities to twist it in his favor. Now that Heihachi is gone, you have to imagine it's only going to be Nina there. And if I had to say who's more powerful, Claudio or Nina, my chances is going to be the guy who's leading the sorcerers, the guy who's dealing with demonic energy, the guy who studies it, who lives it. Nina, she's talented, but Claudio's just on another level. You're basically asking who would win in a fight, Black Widow or Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? It's just two different levels of skill there.
Tu sei un umano con la forza di un demone.
そうじゃ。わしは正真正銘人間様だ。しかし、わしの息子和也は違う。
The young girl that approached him is Zhao Yu. Now, I don't know why Nina is allowing Zhao Yu to walk around the Mishima Zaibatsu headquarters. Maybe they are Team Jin and they are working to try and find him. But Claudio seizes this opportunity to use Zhao Yu as bait. He takes her up to the rooftop and he's going to beat her up and use her as bait to lure out Jin.
どう？ただの女の子じゃないって分かった？
Ti permetto di venire con me.
やった！
Ma dovrai essere pronto.
うん、分かってる。でも、もう迷わないって決めたから。
Bene. Era quello che volevo sentirti dire.
This is where the Pachinko slot machine comes into effect. Now, I know it's not canon, but I do want to talk about it because, in my opinion, I think it's canon. In my opinion, I think it's canon because there's so much story importance there. It's like, why would they go to the effort of designing all of this and explaining all of this for it not to matter in Tekken 8, right? So it's called Events of Cyrus. Zhao Yu and Claudio walk into the Domino's cereal, and at some point Claudio exorcises someone using his rage art. A purple skull hovers above the person being exorcised, and Claudio shoots the skull/evil spirit, causing it to be banished. Claudio then checks on the exorcist person to make sure they're alright. Eliza also makes an appearance. She has been preying on victims in the city. Claudio and Zhao Yu have a confrontation with her in which Claudio again uses his rage art, presumably to banish her as an evil being. The story promptly picks up when we see Claudio walking in a library. He opens a book that shows silhouettes of devil-like figures resembling Kazuya and Jin's devil forms. A voiceover of Claudio says, Claudio and Zhao Yu travels to jungle outposts. They come across Devil Jin,
気をつけなさい。来ますよ。
ジン、お願い、目を覚まして。
奴はどこへ。
後ろ。
助かりましたよ。黄昏の闇、シリウスのきらめきの炎。
An alternate ending occurs in which Claudio is knocked out and Zhao Yu runs to his side. Regardless of the two endings, it seems like whichever one you go with, Jin is eventually defeated. Whether he's hit with a cheap shot by Zhao Yu and knocked out, or whether he loses fair and square to Claudio and is knocked out. So it seems like the developers has a direction. It seems like there's a second half of the story just waiting to be told. What is Claudio planning to do with Jin? And then when does Serafino show up? Because Serafino is also looking for Claudio, and who knows what's going to happen once she finds him, or if she can. Either way, I think the story is going to be phenomenal. Like I said, Claudio is someone I've been hyping up for a very long time, and I cannot wait to see.
Oh my God, bro, is dick riding all you do?
No, I'm
Like,
saying
you literally got that nigga dick in your mouth right now. I see it.
I'm saying the shot was okay.
All right.
Vuoi davvero opporti a un simile abominio?
じゃから再三通告したはず。わしとお前の目的は同じ。